On February 1, the 92nd Union Budget was presented in Parliament by the Finance Minister of India. Budget is a crucial aspect of India's financial landscape and serves as a roadmap for the government's finances in a given financial year. The Indian budget process, which began in 1860, has evolved over the past 6 decades. The budget was originally adopted on April 7, 1860, 2 years after the Indian government was transferred from the East India Company to the British Crown. The first finance member to deliver the budget was James Wilson, who presented the first budget in 1869. Mr. Liaquat Ali Khan, member of the interim government, presented the budget of 1947-48. Next, the first finance minister, Shri R.K. Shanmukham Chetty, presented the first union budget of independent India in 1947. Since then, it has become a crucial tool for public finance management, which reflects the strength of our democratic processes in shaping our economy. The budgetary process is considered quite significant, as it not only ensures the efficient allocation of resources, but also provides an overview of all the government schemes and changes in the tax structure. So let's learn about the current budget process in some more detail. As per Article 112 of the Constitution, the budget is officially referred to as the annual financial statement of the government. Surprisingly, the term budget is not explicitly mentioned in the Constitution. In general terms, the budget is the statement of estimated receipts and expenditure of the government in a financial year. But it has been classified into 2 main categories. The first category is the revenue budget, which covers the tax and non-tax revenue receipts and expenditure of the government. And the second is the capital budget, dealing with capital receipts and payments of the government. Up next, let's see the various steps of the budget process. The first step is the presentation of the budget in the Parliament by the Finance Minister of India, and then a general discussion takes place in both houses of the Parliament. Next, standing committees scrutinize individual ministers' demand for grants, which is followed by detailed discussion and voting on demand for grants in Lok Sabha. The entire process concludes with the passing of the appropriation and finance bill. Now the question is, who prepares the budget and how is it presented? Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance is the nodal body responsible for preparing of the budget. The budget division under the department prepares the annual budget broadly on the basis of detailed estimates of expenditure and receipts received from various departments or ministries and its own subordinate estimating authorities. The budget is prepared on a cash basis, which means it is based on whatever is expected to be actually received or paid under proper sanction during a financial year. Now, as per Article 112 of the Constitution, the President in every financial year caused to be laid before both the Houses of Parliament the annual financial statement. In the Parliament, the Union Finance Minister normally presents the budget in 2 sections, Part A and Part B. Part A focuses on macroeconomic aspects where various schemes and priorities of the government are announced with schemes and allocation details for several sectors. And Part B addresses the finance bill containing taxation proposals on income tax revisions and indirect taxes. Apart from the Finance Minister's budget speech, several other documents are presented to Parliament. These are Annual Financial Statement under Article 112, Demands for Grants under Article 113, Finance Bill under Article 110, and Fiscal Policy Statements mandated under the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act 2003, which also includes Macroeconomic Framework Statement and Medium-Term Fiscal Policy Fiscal Policy Strategy Statement. Other explanatory documents are also presented like Expenditure Budget, Receipt Budget, Expenditure Profile, Budget at a Glance, Key Features of Budget 2024-25, and Implementation of Budget Announcement 2023-24. Interestingly, there's a unique twist in this budget 2024 due to it being an election year. Instead of a regular budget, the Finance Minister will be presenting an interim budget in the Parliament. Let's understand how an interim budget is different from a regular budget. An interim budget, unlike its comprehensive counterpart, is a short-term financial plan covering government expenses until the elections. Unlike a normal budget, which covers every aspect of government finances, including revenues, expenditures, allocations, and policy statements, it only outlines anticipated revenues and expenses until the new government is formed. As part of the interim budget, the Parliament passes a crucial component called the vote on account. As per Article 116 of the Constitution, this vote on account acts as an advance payment to the government from the Consolidated Fund of India for meeting immediate expenditure requirements. Now let's delve into the key highlights of the much anticipated Interim Budget 2024-25. We already know Part A of the budget discusses the different schemes and allocation to several sectors by the government. The vision of this budget is Viksit Bharat by 2047, which envisions a prosperous Bharat in harmony with nature, modern infrastructure, and opportunities for all. And the development mantra is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and Sabka Vishwas. This trinity of demography, democracy and diversity backed by the whole nation approach, Sabka Prayas, will fulfill the vision of developed India by 2047. The philosophy is to cover all elements of inclusivity such as social inclusivity via coverage of all strata of the society and geographical inclusivity via development of all regions of the country. Notably, to achieve these objectives, this year's budget focuses on 4 key focus areas which are Garib, Mahilaएं, Yuva and Annadata. Let's discuss the key achievements in each focus area. First and foremost, there have been significant accomplishments in poverty alleviation and empowering the poor. Over the last decade, the government in its pursuit of Sabka Saath has liberated 25 crore people from multi-dimensional poverty. In addition, the direct benefit transfer of 34 lakh crores using PM Jan Dhan accounts has saved 2.7 lakh crores in government funds. Additionally, programs like PM Swanidhi have provided credit assistance to 78 lakh street vendors, wherein 2.3 lakh people have received credit for the third time. The PM Janman Yojana helped in reaching out to the particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Also, PM Vishwakarma Yojana provided end-to-end support to artisans and craftspeople engaged in 18 trades. Moving on with women's empowerment being another key focus area, Mudra Yojana loans have benefited 30 crore women entrepreneurs. In a notable achievement, a 28% increase in female enrollment in higher education was seen in the past 10 years. Also, girls and women now constitute 43% of enrollment in STEM courses, one of the highest in the world, making a significant leap forward. In addition, there is a significant rise in the female labour force participation rate, which rose to 37% in 2022-23 from 23.3% in 2017-18. Another notable achievements include enhancing women's dignity through measures like making the triple talaq illegal, reservation on 1/3 of seats for women in the Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies, and allocating 70% of houses under PM Awas Yojana in rural areas to women as sole or joint owners. Third major area is Yuva or youth. In this area, an important role is being played by the National Education Policy 2020, which has resulted in transformational reforms. PM Schools for Rising India or PM Shri are now delivering quality teaching and nurturing holistic and well-rounded individuals. If we talk about Skill India Mission, it has trained 1.4 crore youth, upskilled and reskilled 54 lakh youth, and established 3,000 new ITIs. In addition, a large number of new institutions of higher learning, namely 7 IITs, 16 triple IITs, 7 IIMs, 15 AIMS and 390 universities have been set up. The PM Mudra Yojana alone has sanctioned 43 crore loans aggregating to 22.5 lakh crore for the entrepreneurial aspirations of our youth. Besides that, Fund of Funds, Startup India and Startup Credit Guarantee schemes are assisting the youth and helping them become Rozgar Data. Notably, there have been several achievements relating to youth participation in the field of sport. In 2023, India reached its highest ever medal tally in Asian Games and Asian Para Games, which reflects a high confidence level. Chess prodigy and our #1 ranked player Pragnananda put up a stiff fight against the reigning world champion Magnus Carlsen in 2023. Today, India has over 80 chess grandmasters compared to a little over 20 in 2010. Moving ahead, the fourth focus area is Annadata. Farmers are the backbone of the nation, and schemes like PM Kisan Samman Yojana has empowered 11.8 crore farmers, including marginal and small farmers, by offering them direct financial support. Meanwhile, the PM Fasal Bima Yojana assured that 4 crore farmers get crop insurance. In addition, the electronic national agriculture market has integrated 1,361 mandis, connecting 1.8 crore farmers and generating a trade volume of Rs 3 lakh crore. The commitment does not end there. Several farmer-focused measures like farmer-centric policies, income support, coverage of risks through price and insurance support, and promotion of technologies and innovations through startups have helped empower India's farmers. In addition to highlighting the achievements of the 4 focus areas, this year's budget also presented a strategy for Amrit Kal. Now let's look at this strategy, which focuses on sustainable development, infrastructure and investment, inclusive development, agriculture and food processing, tourism, among other things. The sustainable development approach is targeted at reaching net zero by 2070 through measures like viability gap funding for wind energy, setting up of coal gasification and liquefaction capacity, phased mandatory blending of CNG, PNG and compressed biogas, and provision of financial assistance for procurement of biogas aggregation machinery. Rooftop solarization can give up to 300 units of free power each month to 1 crore homes. A notable move would be adoption of e-buses to transform our public transport network. The strengthening of the e-vehicle ecosystem will be supported by building manufacturing and charging points. A new scheme of biomanufacturing and biofoundry is to be launched to support environment-friendly alternatives. If we discuss some significant achievements, they include a remarkable release of 10 crore LPG connections under the PM Ujjwala Yojana. Under the Ujala scheme, 23.6 lakh energy-efficient fans have been distributed. Also, 1.3 crore LED street lights have also been installed under Street Lighting National Program. Moving on, in the field of infrastructure and investment, implementation of 3 major railway corridor programs has been planned under PM Gati Shakti. PM Gati Shakti is to improve logistic efficiency and reduce cost. Additionally, the promotion of foreign investment via bilateral treaties is to be negotiated, and the expansion of existing airports and comprehensive development of new airports is undergoing via the Udan scheme. Further, urban development is being promoted with schemes like Metro Rail and Namo Bharat. Achievements in this field include increased capital expenditure to Rs 11.11 lakh crores by financial year 25 and doubling of the FDI inflow from $298 billion in 2005 to 14 to $596 billion in 2014 to 23. Next, in the field of inclusive development, the Aspirational Districts program will assist states in faster development and employment generation. Also, development of the eastern region of India is envisioned to make the region and its people a powerful driver of India's growth. Further, the PM Awas Yojana Grameen has targeted an additional 2 crore houses for the next 5 years, and Housing for Middle Class scheme will be launched to promote the middle class to buy or build their own houses. More medical colleges will be set up by utilizing the existing hospital infrastructure, and cervical cancer immunizations for girls in the age group of 9 to 14 years are on the way. Various schemes for maternal and child health care are to be brought under one comprehensive program for synergy in implementation. Moreover, upgradation of Anganwadi centers under Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0 will be expedited for improved nutrition delivery, early childhood care and development. The U-Win platform will also be rolled out for managing immunization and intensified efforts of Mission Indradhanush. And the Ayushman Bharat scheme will be extended to all ASHA workers, Anganwadi workers and helpers. Coming to some notable achievements till now, India has witnessed a rise in the percentage of women registered for antenatal care within the first trimester from 68% in 2018 to 89% in October 2023. In addition, there is a significant rise in allocation for Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana from Rs 79,590 crores in 2020-24 to Rs 80,671 crores in 2024-25. Moving on, in the field of agriculture and food processing, private and public investments will be promoted in post-harvest operations like aggregation, modern storage, efficient supply chains, primary and secondary processing and marketing and branding. Also, application of nano DAP on various crops will be expanded in all agroclimatic zones, and an Atmanirbhar Oilseeds Abhiyan strategy will be formulated to achieve Atmanirbharta for oilseeds. In addition, a comprehensive program for dairy development is to be formulated to control foot and mouth diseases and increase the productivity of milch animals. Stepping up implementation of the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana will help boost aquaculture output, double exports and provide more job opportunities. The establishment of 5 integrated aqua parks has been planned in this regard. Moreover, to promote the Blue Economy 2.0, a scheme for restoration and adaptation measures and coastal aquaculture and mariculture with an integrated and multi-sectoral approach will be introduced. Let's also take a look at some achievements till now. There has been a significant increase in allocation for Blue Revolution from Rs 2,025 crores to Rs 2,352 crores in 2024-25. Also, there is an increase in allocation for PM Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises scheme from Rs 639 crores in 2023-24 to Rs 880 crores in 2024-25. Now, talking about the strategy for tourism in India, states will be encouraged to take up comprehensive development of iconic tourist centers, branding and marketing them at a global scale. A framework for rating the centers based on the quality of facilities and services will also be established, and long-term interest-free loans will be provided to states for financing such development on a matching basis. Also, projects for port connectivity, tourism infrastructure, and amenities will be taken up for India's islands, including Lakshadweep. Other measures for the Amrit Kaal will include enhancing the target for Lakpati Didi from 2 crore to 3 crore. Lakpati Didi refers to women members of self-help groups who earn a sustainable income of at least Rs 1 lakh per year per household. In addition, India's research and development future seems promising with the plan of establishing a corpus of Rs 1 lakh crore research fund with 50 years interest-free loan. Also, a new scheme is to be launched to strengthen deep tech technologies for defense purposes and expedite Atmanirbharta. Transformational reforms have been envisioned in the states for Viksit Bharat with the proposal for providing 75,000 crore rupees as a 50-year interest-free loan. These loans will support milestone-linked reforms by the state governments. In addition, a high-powered committee will also be formed to address societal challenges due to fast population growth and demographic changes and achieve the goal of Viksit Bharat. So let's move to Part B of the budget. As we know, Part B focuses on taxation proposals on income tax revisions as well as direct and indirect taxes. In the domain of direct taxes, over the last decade, tax receipts have more than tripled, establishing a new standard for financial development. The number of returns filed has increased by 2.4 times, indicating an increasing compliance culture. Even more significant is the reduction in average return processing time, which has dropped from 93 days in 2013-14 to 10 days in 2023-24. The implementation of a new tax system has streamlined in the procedure while also resulting in lower and more rationalized tax rates. Taxpayers earning up to Rs 7 lakh currently have no tax liability. Retail enterprises now have a pre-assumption tax threshold of Rs 3 crore up from 2 crore. Corporate tax rates have dropped significantly from 30% to 22% for existing enterprises and even lower at 15% for new manufacturing companies. Initiatives such as faceless assessment and appeal, as well as the introduction of new Form 26AS and tax return pre-filing have significantly improved taxpayer services. Now shifting to indirect taxes, gross GST receipts have increased dramatically, doubling to an average monthly number of 1.66 lakh crore in fiscal year 24. The influence of GST is visible in the upward trend of state revenues. The tax buoyancy of state revenue increased from 0.72 in the pre-GST period to 1.22 in the post-GST period. Since 2019, import release times have lowered by 47% at inland container depots, 28% at air cargo complexes, and 27% at seaports. Additionally, the removal of tax arbitrage and octroi has resulted in a more streamlined and optimized supply chain, benefiting both enterprises and customers. Let's discuss tax proposals. The tax proposals in the interim budget ensure continuity in taxation benefits for startups and investments by sovereign wealth funds or pension funds, extending tax exemptions from certain IFSC units until 31st March 2025. Furthermore, the withdrawal of outstanding direct tax demands up to 25,000 from financial year 10 and up to 10,000 rupees for financial year 2011-2015 benefits around 1 crore taxpayers. The decision to retain the same tax rates for direct and indirect taxes, import duties, and corporate taxes emphasizes stability and consistency in the tax framework. These measures aim to provide relief, streamline processes, and support economic growth. Let's understand the overall trend in tax receipts. The gross tax receipts for fiscal year 2022-23 were 11.2%. During the same year, from direct tax collections were 6.1%, while the indirect tax collections were 5.1% of total GDP. Looking forward to the following fiscal year 2024-25, budget estimates show a further rise in gross tax receipts 11.7%, with direct tax at 6.7% and a minor reduction in indirect tax at 4.9%. Other trends include decline in CAD to approximately 1% of GDP in financial year 2024, decline in unemployment rate from 4.1% in 2021-22 to 3.2% in 2022-23. The decline in GNPAs from 5.8% in financial year 22 to 3.2% as of September 2023 of gross advances. Rise in the volume of digital transactions to more than 13,000 crores in financial year 2024. Rise in average monthly gross GST collections to Rs 1.7 lakh crores in financial year 2024 as compared to Rs 1.5 lakh crores in financial year 2023. Headline inflation is estimated to be 5.5% in financial year 2024. Now let's see, where does the government get its money from and where does it go? The government gets 28% of its rupees from borrowing and others. Income tax contributes 19%, union excise duties 5% and corporation tax 17%. While non-tax receipts and customs each contribute 7% and 4% respectively. GST and other taxes make up 18% and 1% is coming from non-debt capital receipts. The rupee goes to pensions account for 4%, while other expenditure takes up 9%. State share of taxes and duties holds 20% and finance commission and other transfers make up 8%. Central sector schemes received 16%, while 20% went to interest payments, centrally sponsored schemes 8%, subsidies 6% and defense 8%. Now let's check what are the sources of deficit financing. Deficit financing is financed by money from various sources like market borrowings, small savings, dated securities and others. The sources of deficit financing include market borrowings, securities against small savings, short-term borrowing, other receipts like internal debt and public account, external debt, state provident funds, and drawdown of cash balance. As per the 2024-25 interim budget, the deficits are largely being financed through securities against small savings. In addition, there is a negative decline in the other receipts in the budget estimates for 2024-25. Scan the QR code for a summary of the Interim Budget 2024-25. Also, check out all the relative documents of budgets mentioned in the caption of this video.